Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and here I'm comparing the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7 with the Nova Pro Wireless. Now this might seem like an illogical comparison because the Nova Pro Wireless is obviously considerably more expensive. However, there are a number of features of both that make them very comparable, and there are some reasons I think it's worth paying more and saving your pennies up for the Nova Pro Wireless. So I want to talk about them and show the headsets side by side, talk about the differences between them and what's awesome about both of them. I'll leave links in the description to the full reviews and more that I've done on both these headsets because it's worth covering things like the SteelSeries Sonar software, which allows for full customization of audio, both game level, your microphone, other people's microphones, and more. And both headsets have comparable features there, so I'm not going to cover that in this video, but check out the reviews to find out more because it's insane, that software customization, what you can do there. But what I want to talk about is the hardware level and how they're great. Now, I've been using these devices on PC, but also with my phone and with other things. I want to show some of the flexibility there. You'll notice from a number of these clips that they're very similar looking. The Pro Wireless is obviously superior aesthetically in a number of ways, but they're also both customizable. It's worth mentioning that because there are accessories that you can get for the headband, with the speaker tags, and you can swap out the ear cushions and more. But on the face of it, the design is very similar. They both have that extendable headband that you can see here. They've got these twist and tilt ear cups, which means there's good clamping force, and it's really easy to get them in a good position on your head and get some nice comfort out of them. They're also larger than the Arctis Pro lineup, the previous version, and so they're a better fit in my mind and more comfortable, should fit more people, and are nicer to wear. They also have a good stretch to them, and you'll see there's a strap on top that's also adjustable, so you can get that position really well and just get a good comfort out of them. I think they should hold up to the test of time in terms of durability as well. I've been using my Nova Pro Wireless basically as my mainstay when I'm not reviewing other headsets for quite some time now, and I still love it, and I've got no issues with it. And the Nova 7 is very similar in its design aesthetic, durability, and more. It's basically the same foundations, but with some improved features and specs that you'll see as we go through this video, but you can see a lot of similarities between the two as I demonstrate some of the things that you can do with them. And they're both great for a variety of reasons, and one of the reasons is the multi-connectivity options. So you'll see the Nova 7 here, for example, comes with all these cables included in the box. You get a multitude of cables here. Obviously, you've got a USB-C to USB-A charging cable, which means you can plug it in and charge when necessary. And more on the charge later on, but this is actually the superior device, weirdly, in terms of the amount of battery life, because you can get up to 38 hours out of it. And then you can plug it in for fast charging. So in a very short period of time, you can actually charge up for a lot more battery really quickly, which makes it very nice. And there are some other highlights that I'll talk about as well later on with that. You also have a 3.5mm cable included in here, which you can plug directly into the headset. This obviously means that it will work with a number of different things. You can obviously use it with Switch, with PlayStation, PC, Xbox, loads of different devices. Anything that will take a 3.5mm connection, if you need to, you can plug it in there with these. Now, this is on the face of it a wireless headset though, so it has a 2.4 gigahertz USB-C dongle that you can see in the bottom right, and then it has this adapter. So if you don't have a USB-C connection, you can just plug this dongle into this cable and then the USB-A cable into your PC or whatever else you're planning on using it, and then that will send the transmission of that data. This USB-C dongle though is obviously useful because you could just connect it up to, for example, a Nintendo Switch, and then you can use it that way wirelessly and have that convenience. So it's really cool. And it also works with mobiles, so it works with Android phones, for example. I've done that, and that's really handy. But the other thing that's good about this is it also has Bluetooth, so you can do that, although it's pretty logical to do that because you do have the Bluetooth connection. So you can easily connect it up to your phone with a Bluetooth connectivity. And more importantly, it has that dual connectivity option. So you can use both the USB-C dongle and your Bluetooth at the same time. So you can actually connect up those two devices and get the sound from different sources. So great if you're playing on PC, but listening to music on your phone, or making calls on your phone, or doing whatever else. So loads of functionality in the Arctis 7, and that's one of the reasons it's a great headset. This is very comparable with the Pro Wireless, which is also very multi-device capable. Now here you can see the Pro Wireless. Obviously, immediately you'll see the difference. It's a much more aesthetically pleasing headset. It comes with faux leather ear cushions instead of those fiber ones that you saw with the Airweave memory foam. In my opinion, it's much more comfortable for that reason. It has a much nicer fit. It gives a lot better passive noise cancellation, blocks out a lot more surrounding noise, so you can just be fully immersed into your game. Now, it is worth noting that you can buy the cushions separately, so you could upgrade the Nova 7, so it is a thing of note. But the other thing that makes the Nova Pro Wireless interesting is the just connectivity of it again. So you see you can pop off one of those speaker caps and there's a USB-C connection under there. So the same sort of logic, you can plug it in for a charge. But more importantly, on the other side is access to the internal battery. So there's a battery included with this headset that's in there that you can just pop out when it gets low on charge. And then you can just plug it into the base station for a charge. Now, the interesting thing here is that those batteries last around 22 hours is the claim. And you basically find that you pop them out and put them in the charger and then swap them around. So you've always got one on charge and you've always got one in the headset. But what I have found frustratingly with this headset is you get a very short warning of when you're running low on charge. So it will beep at you a couple of times and then you've essentially run out of battery. So if you don't change it really quickly, and I'm talking like within a minute, you'll suddenly got no battery in there. However, if you take the battery out of the base station, you can then put it straight in the headset and carry on using it. Alternatively, you can plug it in. As you can see, you can pop off the other speaker cap and you can plug it directly in with the USB-C connection and charge it that way. So if you ever do need to, you can do it that way. But for day-to-day use, you'll probably be just going between these two swappable batteries. The point here is that in theory, you've got never-ending battery, just with some minor convenience of having to lose audio for about 30 seconds where you go through this swapping process. They've taken one battery out of the charging station, putting it in your headset, and vice versa, putting it back, so you've always got one charging. Whereas the Arctis Nova 7 actually has 38 hours of battery life before it needs plugging in. So maybe it's more convenient, but when it does run low, you do have to plug it in, which you never have to do with the Pro Wireless, and which is one of the major selling points. The other one is obviously the same logic. It also has dual connectivity, so it also can connect up to your phone and play Bluetooth audio and do the 2.4 gigahertz at the same time. The difference here obviously is that you have that base station instead of the little USB-C dongle. So anything you want to connect up to it connects up to the base station first. So in my instance, I usually connect up the base station to the PC with a single USB connection. But then if you want to connect up something else, like a 3.5mm connection, for example, you can easily do that. So you run your 3.5mm from whatever device you're using into the base station, then you'll get the audio in the headset for that. So in my example here, I'm using a Wave XLR from Elgato, which is a mic system. There's a preamp for an XLR microphone, but you could use, let's say, a USB microphone. If you wanted to run a mic monitoring from that mic, you could run a 3.5mm connection from, let's say, a HyperX Quadcast from that into the base station, and then you could mic monitor externally. This shows you the power of what you can do with it. Here you can see me using the Rodecaster Pro 2, for example. I've got the Rodecaster Pro 2 running into the headset, so I'm mic monitoring and doing all the audio through my Rodecaster, but that's then getting transmitted through the air through the 2.4 gigahertz base station straight to the headset. And at the same time, if I wanted to, I could connect up with Bluetooth from my phone and listen to music or make calls or whatever else from the headset there. I've also abandoned the headset microphone in favor of an external mic, so it gives you a lot of flexibility in what you can do, but you can see that the Nova Pro Wireless is theoretically fantastic and really good. It is actually my favorite headset for all these different reasons. But the other thing that is worth saying is that you could obviously plug a 3.5mm connection in for the Nova 7, so you can do that. You could connect up a microphone in the same way I've just said, directly to the Nova 7 and monitor an external microphone. But the cable would go into the headset itself, so you've then turned a wireless headset into a wired one, which is the downside of that. Whereas with the Nova Pro Wireless, you don't need to do that. You just got it wireless still, even with all these devices connected to it. The other thing that the Nova Pro Wireless has going for it is ANC, so there's active noise cancellation. You can see on the outside here a very small little speaker. What it looks like is actually a microphone. So there are microphones built into this thing, both outside the headphone and inside, that allow it to monitor for external noise and do active noise cancellation, where it blocks out some of that noise, cancels out a lot of the background noise, and it's been epic, I'll say, for that. I was really surprised by the difference it makes. It eliminates fan noise, but it also eliminates people talking nearby. It really cuts down on the sound, and it makes quite a bit of a difference. Now, at a passive level, if you look at both of these headsets just straight out of the box, you'll see that obviously you've got the faux leather on the Nova Pro Wireless. That actually gives passive noise cancellation as well. So that gives even that just out of the box without the ANC on makes quite a difference versus the Arctis 7. It's also more comfortable in my mind. They are softer and just nicer on the ears. But there is one thing of note. you will see that there is a little nipple essentially sticking out of the Nova Pro Wireless in the middle. And I have had people complain about this and saying it's uncomfortable. It didn't affect me. It doesn't affect me, but it's going to vary depending on the shape of your ears, obviously. Basically, that's the little microphone on the inside that helps it to basically eliminate sound to use that ANC. So to make the most of the ANC, you need this setup in here. And it is worthwhile, but you can turn the ANC on and off as well. So there's a button on the headset that allows you to turn it on and off. You can also do clever things from the headset, from the multiple buttons. You can double tap one of the buttons to skip ahead, triple tap to rewind, press once to play and pause. And you have those media controls on there. Obviously, you can also turn Bluetooth on and off as well on a whim. You can have them both on at the same time, or you can just have one on to save battery life. So they're both fantastic that way. There's no RGB lighting on either headset apart from the LED indicators to let you know when the battery's running low. So that will save battery life. And they're also both nice looking enough in my mind that they could just be used as headphones when you're out and about. So they're not gamer headsets. You're not going to be obvious gamer if you're seen wearing these necessarily. And they're also customizable. You can buy extra straps, outside speaker caps, and the ear cushions as well. So you can tweak the look and feel of them to your preference. But you'll see that both of them are nice looking headsets. They both got good sound and they're both really customizable. It's really important to keep that in mind. You've got the option of great audio with SteelSeries Sonar software on PC. You can customize that. But even out of the box, I think they sound nice. They've got a good bass to them, good depth, good audio positioning, and decent enough in a load of different ways. Really convenient access to multiple buttons on the side. You'll see the Nova 7 here, for example, also has indicator lights to let you know when it's running low on battery. And as I said earlier on, this headset has more battery. And my complaint about the Nova Pro Wireless was that you didn't get much warning when it was about to run out of battery. This one actually beeps regularly for quite some time before it runs low, so you don't have that issue. You get a lot of warning that it's going to run low, which is much better than Nova Pro Wireless. I wish they'd fix that because it's really annoying that you just run out very quickly, but with little warning. We don't get that with the Nova 7, but you do have to then plug it in, so there's one downside. And obviously you can see you take the speaker tags off, but the only reason to do that is to switch them out for different styles. So there's not much reason to do that in terms of, you know, the use of it. Unlike with the Nova Pro where there's some stuff hidden underneath the underside. But anyway, the conclusion is you should definitely save your money and get the Nova Pro Wireless in my mind. But the Nova 7 is still a fantastic headset that's well worth considering. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for watching.
You've made it right to the end of the video, you brilliant legend you. If you've enjoyed it, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and drop me a comment down below if you've got any questions. If you really enjoyed it, consider joining the channel and see the benefits of doing so. Check out these other videos. You might well find them interesting or useful. And most importantly, have a great life.